Hello. Today is August 26th, Saturday. My name is Jo. I'm like ashamed of myself. It's okay. So I didn't record Friday. I recorded Thursday. I was so hungover to the point where I even was like, I was throwing up. I had a headache. I had like no vitamins, no nutrition. My blood sugar was so low. I was like shaking. But I wanted to talk about like a little bit of how I was feeling because I was supposed to be on an alcohol break. But I was like, oh, it's a team dinner. I'm going to. Oh, before I get into it, anyways, hold on. Let me finish my story first. I'm just gonna have a drink or whatever. We're gonna just drink wine. It's not a big deal. So I'm drinking the wine. I'm having a great time, and I get so lit, guys. I get so lit that I woke up with bruises across like both my eyes, like my eye bone, and on my cheek, and my knee is bruised and swollen, and I was just like, I don't remember how this happened, and I'm not that like type of a drinker. I'm not like this like crazy belligerent person, but like I just feel like it's just too much. So I'm going to share what I recorded on Thursday. It's already up whenever this goes up. And I chopped it up. I took out my morning rant because I just wasn't present. And so, yeah, I'll just post the part about what was mainly on my mind, which is alcoholism and how we as a society treat alcohol or even our vices in general. But um, I'll chop and screw and still put it up. So it's only yesterday that I really, really missed. And that's just because, I don't know, I was like in a funk and it like bled into today a little bit. I woke up this morning in such a funk. I had to have like almost like an hour and a half long dance party to get out of it. And I'll talk about that. That's part of my morning thoughts, my main thing on my brain. But welcome to Rants and Raves morning show. It's the afternoon here. I've had a slow morning. I took my time and now it's starting to rain and it's starting to rain. So I figured this would be the best time to record this and redo what I should have done Thursday and actually what I should have done. It's not shoulda, woulda, woulda, coulda. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. I'm trying my best, okay? So at this point, I'm happy that we're here. Happy Saturday, guys. To this weekend is Carnival weekend here, Notting Hill Carnival. I'm excited. I'm gonna talk more about it later, but anyways, so I'm hoping this rain goes away after today because it's a bank holiday weekend, which means we're off on Monday, and that's whenever the carnival is. So I'm trying to figure out what outfit should I get. I might go look for some, some, or see if I can join the troop or something. Maybe it's too late. But yeah, let me do my rundown because a lot has happened since we talked Wednesday. So you know how I was talking a lot about Russia's influence in Africa, and how Prigozhin and the Wagner Group are just like so invested and so like they have such a presence there. Thursday morning, we all wake up to hear that a private jet has crashed and Prigozhin is dead. The Wagner Group founder is dead. Not only is he dead, but basically all the leadership, the treasurer or CFO, the guy who's like the Prigozhin's right-hand man, dead. The plane fell out of the sky. Like 30, 45 minutes after takeoff. Mind you, he was just in Africa earlier this week. And he was like, we all know Wagner Group is trying to get into Niger. It's a thing we all know. So he was there for a couple of days. I was still thinking he was there. So when I heard that, I was like, nah, that's just not true. Because in like 2019, 2018, he supposedly died once before in a plane crash in like Sierra Leone, which was a lie. But they said they identified him based off of a wound on his hand, and they identified other people based off of tattoos and stuff. Prigozhin is dead. And Putin took some time to comment, but finally came and commented and said, you know, my condolences to your families. He was he was like a very smart or dedicated man, something along those lines. And then he ended it with, who made some really bad decisions. And so, I mean, basically, after Prigozhin and the Wagner Group tried to cause that little mutiny / coup in Russia, and we all thought that him and Putin made a deal, but he was disrespecting the deal. He was disrespecting the deal. He was staying in Russia. He wasn't staying in Belarus like he was supposed to be. He was doing the most. So I feel like Putin was like, you testing my patience. You trying me, and I will kill you. And look what has happened. He's dead. The Wagner Group leader is dead. And so part of the deal that he made with Putin was that the Wagner Group was going to go underneath the Russian military. And so that's already been happened. It's just going to be interesting to see what will happen in the places that the Wagner Group has influence beyond Russia, right? What will happen in the Ukraine war? What will happen with all these African governments that the Wagner Group is basically propping up? Like, what's going to happen? And how is that going to impact like global security moving forward? Because, you know, it's not like these men were good men, right? Them and their group, they do a lot of crazy bad things. So under Putin's leadership and power and influence, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens here, like how the Wagner Group evolves from this point, or even if they're willing to listen to Putin or be under Putin. We'll see. That blew me though. When I woke up on Thursday and I saw that, I was like, oh, whoa, no, it's no way. I watched the Republican debate on, I didn't watch the debate. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I didn't watch the whole debate because, to be honest, I don't think anybody can change my mind. Let me stop lying. They're not going to ever change my mind. But the only person that kind of made me take a step back a little bit was Chris Christie. And I'm like, of all people, Chris Christie is the one that's making me look like, okay, that wasn't the stupidest thing you've ever said. I don't fully disagree. But it was basically a shit show. Excuse my language. It was basically just chaos. Yeah. What was really surprising to me was you can just see through the antics. Like, you can see through the antics. Vivek Ramaswamy, whatever his name is. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm going to get these people's names right. But this is an unofficial news channel, okay? We're giving it how it comes. And it's just my personal things that I care about. Anyways, what's his name? Vivek Ramaswamy, whatever his name is. He was just clearly trying to provoke the whole night, right? Be the loudest in the room, draw attention to himself. And like, technically his strategy worked because now they're saying that he's like more well-known in the Republican. I think he went up like 4 points in the polls. It worked. And they have several debates coming. So if he keeps inching forward like that, he can actually be a contender. Ron DeSantis confirmed what we all knew, that he's an idiot. Ron DeSantis confirmed that what we all knew. Okay, DeSantis, I'm sorry. Ron DeSantis confirmed what we all knew. He's an idiot. There doesn't seem to be any strategy there. And if there is strategy there, then there's no personality to prop the strategy up. And how disappointing is that? How are you such a villain in the story of so many people's lives, people that you represent in the state of Florida? How are you such a villain and you literally have no arc? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense, y'all? Like, you have no arc. There's nothing about you that makes people say, this is the villain I want to back. The Joker. Sometimes I was like, oh my God, I'm invested. I'm not invested in your story, Ron DeSantis, and neither is your party. It seems. How does that feel? How does that feel to be an extra? Basically, you just put up there for vibes. He's not gonna make this presidential campaign. He's going to call it off early next year. He has to. He's gonna call it off early unless this trial really does start in October, because after Trump's mugshot came through, Rudy Giuliani's mugshot came through. Is that his name? Sydney, her mugshot came through. As the mugshot started to roll through, and the understanding that like this is not small potatoes. I think what they're looking at, the crimes that they're looking at, they're all, I think, understanding like what's happening here. And it's not a small situation. Now, there are a lot of benefits for them. One being that the former president of the United States is in the group of co-defendants. But at the end of the day, like, this is still a trial, and it's still something that the DA has said that she is. What is she? Is she the DA of Fulton County? What's Fani's title? What is Fani's title? Dang, guys, hold on. Let me see. Anyways, she says she's ready. She says she's ready for trial by October 23rd. And before Trump fired his lawyer to rehire a new one this week, like literally the day he was turning himself in, his former lawyer had signed a motion to speed up the trial, basically, like saying that because they were assuming that the district attorney's office was not, the district attorney's office was not going to be ready for trial yet. Because the assumption is that you go through this, then you do a bunch of discovery. I think she's done it. I think she's built her case. I think she built her case and then asked for them. I think she didn't even need a lot of discovery from them because they're all public officials and all of their communication is public access. Like, why would y'all do that? Why would y'all do that? You're not private citizens. You may have the perks of being leaders and getting all these access things and being wealthy, but at the end of the day, everything you do is public knowledge because you represent us and you get to live those perfect lives because of that. And now you've messed up. You don't have certain your communication on government stuff is not private, guys. Y'all were making phone calls. Y'all were sending emails. Y'all were signing your names on documents as if you were not in public office and your information is public knowledge and accessible. What is going on? There's no way. I don't know if they'll go to jail, to be really honest. I don't know who's going to go to jail. Somebody's going to jail. Out of the 19, I say 3, maybe 4 or 5, 5 maybe. Somebody's going to jail. Some people are going to jail. The president is not one of them. Donald Trump is not going to be one of them. The former president, Donald Trump. Let me stop saying that. Former Donald Trump is not going to be one of those people that go to jail. And that's just what it is. I think we have to accept that. Like, he's not going to jail. Because Biden cannot afford Trump going to jail. I'm sorry. The United States cannot afford for Trump to go to jail. It just doesn't work that way. Disgraced? Never, because he has a strong base. People love him, and they're going to love him. I think it's time that we've all accept that. And for me, I'm not loyal to an individual in a party for sure. Like, I'm not even always singing Joe Biden's praises, to be honest. They all have their things. They're all sometimes both sides of the same, 2 sides of the same coin. right? But I think the issue that a lot of people have with Trump when it comes to being in power is that his moral code is shifty. And whether you like him or not, if you like him, you can know that. Like, it is what it is. For you, it's like, it is what it is. For us who don't support him, it's like, it's not. Because you can't lead a country and have like a shifty moral code. Speaking of shifty moral codes and leading countries, do y'all hear about Obama's chef dying and drowning? But supposedly he was coming out with a tell-all book. And about, I just, there's so much of it that seems really ridiculous. And then there's a lot of it that's like, it's so ridiculous it sounds true, right? Like deep state type stuff. It's believable. It's believable. Is it not? They just admitted aliens were real. You just admitted to me there are extraterrestrial beings out there, and you're telling me that there's not a little bit of deep state activity going on? You think I'm dumb? No, there's no way. So there's that all over the place. Republican to Democrat, independent. We need to be looking at the candidates that are on the fringes. Like, what's her name? Marianne Wilson. She's the Democrat. Cornel West is running, right? There has to be a Republican that has sense that's running. There has to be. Chris Christie, honestly. No, never mind. I was thinking that maybe, but no. Like, we need to look for other options. And I don't know how to get the message out there to all of our peers and all of our friends and everything, but like, we need to get the message out there. And I'm saying we a lot as if like there's like thousands of y'all behind this camera, but that's because I am manifesting. I'm manifesting. So yeah. We need to look at other options because what's happening with current standards of leadership, 80, 90, almost year olds are in charge. Did y'all see whenever Mitch McConnell froze when he was giving a speech? Right? Just froze. Dianne Feinstein is 90 years old, representing the state of California, one of the largest states in America, with the gap between poverty and wealth there is just so exaggerated. You can't it's hard to just exist in that place, at least for me. Why is there a 90-year-old woman in charge? What is going on here? There's no 40, 50, 60-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 20-year-olds, people who can actually walk outside by themselves without assistance. What are we doing? Anyways, all that to say, where do I even start with this? The RICO case. All that to say, they're going to trial. Supposedly they're going to trial in October or March. Nobody believes that Fani Willis is going to be ready by March. Nobody believes it, but she said that she can be ready by October. So let's see how this goes. And supposedly it's going to be a public trial, so we can all watch it. And I just can't wait to see what comes out. I can't wait to see what comes out. But yes, that mugshot was satisfying though. The mugshot was satisfying. So the Women's World Cup just happened, and Spain beat England in the final to win the World Cup. And during the celebrations, the football boss of Spain, I think is the Spain's full soccer federation or just women's soccer federation. I'm not sure which one he's in charge of, but for Spain, gets up next to the Queen of Spain and like grabs his crotch to start celebrating, and the Queen. And then he gets onto the field or the pitch with the players, and he grabs one of the players in her face and kisses her on the mouth on public television. This player is not his girlfriend or his wife or has a relationship with him by no means. He just grabs her and kisses her on the mouth. And nothing happens at that time. Like, everything goes on per usual. They do the award ceremony, moves on. And there has to be a complaint submitted. All of those things, they start to investigate him. And so basically FIFA, which is like the worldwide federation, has said, like, bro, you need to go. Like, we're investigating you, but you need to resign. And now this the Spanish women, and he's taking his time, but the women's team is saying that they're refusing to play until he gets removed. They refuse to play. What in your right mind would make you grab her like that and just put your mouth in her mouth like that? Are people okay? You're the boss of the entire country's soccer thing. You can't just grab this woman and kiss her. What are we doing? And he has been like, there have been complaints about him for years. He's been having these type of issues for years. And for some reason, nobody, the FIFA at least, did not want to take actual action. I don't know if it's like they didn't have enough evidence, like the word of a couple of players wasn't good enough. I don't know. None of those excuses I just mentioned are good enough reasons, by the way. But like, sir, resign. Get out of there so we can all move on peacefully instead of having to deal with your big self. There was a Senegalese migrant boat that people think has crashed, and 60 people are presumed to be dead. They were leaving Senegal to go to somewhere in Europe. With the recent conflict in Senegal, we can probably predict that this will happen even more. Also, a lot of times in African migrants specifically will migrate internally within Africa. There is a percentage that migrates out of Africa, but I think African immigrants account for 14% of global migration. So like, it's not a large number, right? And that's across all the continents, all the countries. Like, this is not well, except for Africa, but like, it's not a situation where it's like these 14% are going to Europe specifically. No, like just globally. And it just brings me to how furious I am that internally within Africa, we like our African Union, ECOWAS, all these other groups, all these other countries, all these other like coalitions don't have any level of like process, any level of like common sense handling of our neighbors' problems or like conflicts. None of it. Like, there's like no economic infrastructure. It's like we've decided to say we're the African Union for the sake of it, to just like suspend members whenever they don't, do something, which is great. Don't suspend them. But there also has to be things that are in place to help make sure that like, hey guys, we are rebuilding our continent. We are the African Union. We are ECOWAS. We are this. We are the Northern African Coalition. We're this, and this. We're doing these things to really move forward. And I know that there's outside players here. You don't have to tell me. We just talked about Wagner Group. Let's not even talk about the United States. Let's not even talk about Europe. France, I'm looking at you, right? Let's not talk about terrorism. Okay, I get it. There's a lot of things that account for this and our inability to move quickly. But we are having very specific things happen right? In a very turn of a century moment that we're going to need to take seriously, right? We're having people drown on the way to migrate. We're having coups. We're having civil wars, like in very key strategic places. And we're allowing outside mercenaries and outside influences and governments to come in and prop up shadow governments. It's concerning. We don't have aid groups personally, internally within Africa that are doing the majority of the work. We don't have that. We're relying on other aid groups to invest and be a part of how we build our systems and our process and hold us accountable for excellence. We have a small percentage of groups and people and like activists and like political leaders that are getting it right. A small percentage who are getting it right. How is it that everyone else is getting it wrong? How is it that all of y'all are getting it wrong? Is it that to be a leader, you must be a psychopath? Is that what you're telling me? Because I just don't, I can't compute. That does not compute for me. Anyways, that pissed me off. Meanwhile, we're having like beautiful moments where Burkina Faso is winning the triple jump at the World Athletic Championships, and African sprinter has won a medal for the first time at the World Championships. The Botswanans went from Botswana. He sprinted in the 100-meter race. He got silver. Like, we're doing the damn thing out here, right? The diaspora is excelling as well. Like, we just have so much potential. Where are the athletic associations, right? Why are national teams, whenever you see a national team trophy that, like, let's say I saw one that Ghana had given its team, it's like a medal you get from Dollar Tree. And if you're like Hobby Lobby, something you would get in middle school or elementary school, primary school, whenever you won the spelling bee. That medal might have been nicer, to be honest. Where's our institutions? Where are they? Where are our preservation systems? Where are our social development systems? Where are they? What are we doing to like nurture our talent? Participating in a renaissance, pushing the voices forward, pushing the art forward, pushing the energy, the clothing, all of it forward, pushing the talent. Where are they? Meanwhile, instead of pushing the talent, all we're seeing are these bald-headed men with big tummies sitting on couches with their global peers, just basking in the fact that they have a level of power. And then their citizens end up in the situations they end up in where they're on boats headed to Europe and drowning just because their leaders are so far removed from actually taking care of the country that they're just over here taking over each other, killing each other, doing it. And then the people are suffering. The people are dying in the streets when the military comes in and starts acting up. What are we doing? Like, wake up. Wake up. Do we have to start going to our presidential palaces and protesting outside your palaces, guys? Is that what we need to do? And even when we do that, you deploy your military on them. You deploy police on us. You kill us. There's no sense of like sense. There ain't no sense. There's no sense about what's happening here. And you know it and I know it. They know it too. So India has landed on the moon. And the reason why it's really exciting is because, or scientists are saying it's exciting, is because they will be exploring the southern hemisphere of the moon, which is always like dark. So we haven't gone there before. We don't know much about what's going on over there, but there's an assumption that there is water-based like ice-based water or water-based ice, something along, is one of the things, ice-based water or something. Anyways, which is like going to help us understand a lot more about the origins of our solar system. There's also something they want to do, like some moon mining, because then we can use it to produce what we can use like it to produce water, have bases built to go ahead and further explore Mars, etc. Why can't we just explore and have good things, right? Why can't we just explore and say, we got to the moon, we're collecting some dust, we don't know what, we don't plan on living here, or unless there's something you're not telling us, planet leaders, but we're just gonna generally land on the moon, have these great explorations, go into space, blah, 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 blah. Why is there mining involved now? Why are we mining and trying to create industries out of moon rock to then go and mine Mars and do more of that? Like, can we get Earth right? Can we get the Earth controversy right? Can we get I guess because they've decided that we're going to just use this planet till it burns. That's what it's given. It's given that our leaders have decided we're going to take everything out of this planet till it burns, and then we'll be wealthy enough to take ourselves up to space and live happily while the little peons die. So, I mean, it's a great accomplishment. India joins 3 other countries that have landed on the moon to do research, but the plans are to cause more like destruction and to like move capitalism onto the moon. Can we not get any rest? Anyways, that's it. So I think it's done raining for the day. It was just pouring outside. And I'm going to print off some photos. I really want to go see if I can go to some of the vintage stores and find some cute stuff. I want some like cool pieces for the fall, and also Mexico. I'll see if I can find something from Mexico. I'm looking for like a trench coat, like Burberry-esque vibes. And then, yeah, like some cool sweaters or something, or a vest, or jewelry. I'm trying to be more intentional. Like I said, the reason I'm doing this is because I'm trying to learn the art of practice. I'm trying to learn the art of working at things you're not good at until you're really good at them. I'm also trying to mainly focus on being consistent with all things in my life, right? And consistency leads to excellence. Consistency leads to a very fulfilled life. Discipline makes your life easier. It makes your life better. It makes your goals actually achievable. And it's something that I know. And I am a disciplined person. I am consistent. I'm telling myself this because it matters how you speak to yourself. Like, technically I'm not, but like I am, because that's what I need to be. There's no choice about it now. Like, there's no choice about it. And I want to open my eyes to the present, and I want to stop looking into the future at all times, you know? And like exist as a being where I am and create an environment that I'm really happy and proud with. Proud about. And yeah, so consistency is when I'm so like yesterday I was really mad at myself. Like I was like, Joan, you can do, and I'm glad that feeling had kicked in, and I'm glad that today I didn't like just sink into that feeling, because it started yesterday. I was in a funk. I was sinking into the feeling. I went to dinner with some friends and I wanted to go out, and I just didn't go out. I didn't go to my run club this morning. Like, and I was just like, I'm not doing anything that I said I'm going to do. And I laid in bed for a while, and I got up and I watched this video about like somatic movements. And I got up and I was like, I'm going to have a dance party. And I did, and I feel so much better. I feel so much better. There is a level of like, vulnerability you need to have with yourself whenever you are trying to become more disciplined as a person. And like beyond just like I don't know why I'm getting emotional about it. It's beyond like um being like, oh, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be disciplined, I'm gonna be vulnerable about telling people what I want to do. I'm gonna tell people what my goal is. Like, I'm gonna be vulnerable about that so I can be held accountable. I'm gonna be vulnerable with myself about like the fact that discipline doesn't just apply to habits, but also relationships and like the discipline to cultivate, right? Do you know the reason I have bamboos? Because I don't have to think about them. And that's the reason I bought them. But like when it comes to things that are alive, you must take care of them. You must cultivate them. And you don't need to run away. You don't need to run away from having to care for things. And that's kind of what I've been doing a little bit. So that's crazy. Things that are alive, you need to care for them. And to care for something means to be invested in its growth. Like even if it's an easy thing to care for, even if your friendship, even if your relationship, even if your body is something that is easy to care for you. Like you feel like, oh, I don't have to think much about it. It's easy for me. There's still a level of effort you need to put in to make sure it's healthy, right? Like I need to make sure my bamboos have fresh water every couple of weeks. I need to clip off leaves and like make sure that they're doing well. I need to wipe them down with some coconut oil once in a while to make them shine and be pretty. Like there's still a level of care I need to give that easy plant. Me, myself, I think I'm easy to like, I'm easy to manage, but like there's still a level of care that I can give myself to make me feel like even more love and like cultivate it. And same thing for my friendships and my relationships. And like it's been hard because it's like I want and desire to keep up with my friends in the US, and there are certain ones I do a better job of keeping up with than others, and like it bothers me, and then it leads to this shame thing that leads to like not doing the thing, which is weird. And then for my relationships here, I'm outgoing and I'm like in people's face and I can like be comfortable by myself, but it takes me a while to get, to warm up to people. Like if you're saying you want to be my friend, like it takes me a while because I don't know if you actually would be somebody I want to be friends with too. You know what I'm saying? It's a double-sided relationship, two sides. And so it takes me some time, and that time, because I'm not like a present person all the time, like with this thing, especially like that time turns into a long period of time. So then it feels like I don't really care for or that relationship isn't important to me, which is not the case. I'm just not that type of person who's like really like always talking. I'm not a big texter. I'm not going to text you paragraphs. I love a voice note because then I can just go around. But like overall, you can call me, you can FaceTime me, but if you text me or email me or whatever, it's not going to happen for you. I'm a call FaceTime person. I've accepted it. Call me. I'll answer. Usually. Ooh, if you're seeing this at this point, I just finished crying because basically gave myself a mini therapy session. But what I'm saying about discipline is I want to be more intentional about how I care for myself and my things, and I want to be consistent. And so knowing that does take a level of it really hurt me whenever I didn't get it right yesterday and didn't release on Thursday. But like, I don't even know where I was. I don't know where I'm going to cut from, but I'm cutting out all of that just happened because I can't have you guys seeing me cry. I literally started crying when I was talking about discipline and caring for things. One point that I did make now that I've already said it and I've already had a personal breakthrough, I can say it to you guys without tears in my eyes. Easy things are great. You know, having easy relationships, having easy things to care for and do are all good. But they don't always help you develop that muscle of putting the effort in, right? And if you always give yourself access to the easy, you will lean into that. And the hard things give you goodness in this life. I'm gonna cry again. Oh my God. The hard things give you goodness in this life. And in, like, deeper relationships with friends and family, deeper relationships with people that you meet, and especially being in like a new country where I have no like I don't have like a friend group to attach myself to, right? So like I'm building my community slowly, and like I don't mind doing it slowly. Like initially I wanted it to be really fast, and I just found myself like at lunches and at dinners with people and at drinks, so I was just kind of like, I just feel like I'm working so hard, I don't want to do this. And I like my relationships to come very much so like, oh, we click immediately. And there are some people I just click with, right? And those people are the ones that here I see the most often. And I love them. Like, you know, they know who you are. But like, especially since my boyfriend isn't here all the time, I have to take my time building that community. And it is going to be hard. And I can't just lean into the easy parts of that, right? And the hard parts are being consistent with people that you don't know like that. And for me, that's something that I just never have done before. Like, if I don't know you like that and we don't have like a crazy strong, I don't go out of my way usually to like, but like if I know you, if I like, where I feel like we're close, I'll go out of my way to see you. No, let me not say that. It's hard because it's like, if you're building a friendship, you don't like, it's not like a automatic muscle that you and that person have. And like, it's an effort for me, and it's a hard, and so I'm learning to like lean into the hard thing with putting like content out there and like figuring out in real time like how I want to do this thing and how I want to show up and like what I want to say, because I want to learn how to practice and build something and learn something. That's really why I'm doing this. Like, it's gonna be hard. I'm gonna have to lean into the hard parts. I can't just like hire somebody to edit this. I can't hire somebody to like write out a brand plan. I can't hire somebody to do it. And I can actually, but I don't wanna. Like, I wanna learn that hard thing. I want to like not force myself, but lean into the difficulty, because that's what's going to breed success. That's what's going to breed like a level of preparation for more. In the Bible, in Matthew, there is a parable of the talents, Matthew 25. And basically this man gives, I believe like his servants or like his slave, like, yeah, his servants, but like he gives them all talents, like money. And he gave one 5, he gave one like 2 or 3, he gave one 1. The one with 5 went out and got 10. The one with 2 went out and got 4. The one with 1 buried it. Took the easy route because he didn't want to take any risk. And the one when the master came back, they all was like, look, master, you gave me 5, I'm bringing you 10. The one was like, you gave me 2, I'm giving you 4. The one with 1 came back with 1 and said, oh, I just thought that, you had all this wealth that you worked hard for. I didn't want to take a risk with it. And he said, give what you have to this person and leave. Did he say leave? I don't know I don't remember what happened in the end, but all that to say, the talents you have in this world, what you have, the things that you want, how you want to multiply your life is going to require risk and effort and pushing forward and leaning into difficulty. And if you bury it and if you hide and if you don't show yourself off, what's yours will be given to another. All right. Today is Saturday. Do, 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 do. Today is Saturday, August. What is today? It's August 25th? August 26th. Today is Saturday, August 26th. My name is Joni. You can call me, well, my name is Joan, but you can call me Joni. I've been breaking out. Look at this guy. Fred, Bob, Bill, and Tom over here. Today is Saturday. My name is Joan. You can call me Joan if you love me. This is Rants and Raves morning show. Thank you for joining me. I'll see y'all next week.